you will report the matter to a police station and be attended by a police officer with fake academic papers. Now, a report by the Public Service Commission shows that more than 50,000 government workers have fake academic papers. Here is NTV's Brian Mushiri with the report.
More than 50,000 government workers are in office illegally. A new report has raised a red flag over the academic papers of some 53,000 public servants. According to the Public Service Commission, the Kenya National Examination Council has already verified that 1,200 officers in 91 public institutions have fake or forged academic papers.
The other question is the people who have exited after being discovered with these certificates. They will be pursued. That's why the DCI and the EACC is here. They will be pursued to the ends of the earth. That money will be recovered from them, and the legal process of incarcerating them will take the lead.
PSC says that the most affected government entities are the Ministry of Interior, Kenyatta National Hospital, Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital, and Geothermal and Development Corporation, a parastatal under the Ministry of Energy. The probed institutions were required to submit lists of graduates in the last 10 years. The PSC probe targeted 331 and found that some 787 officers in ministries, state departments and agencies secured appointments and promotions in the public service using forged documents. The common type of forgeries discovered include alteration of KCSE mean grades, forged KCSE certificates by those who did not sit the exam, fake education certificates, while others were found to have never sat the alleged examinations or registered as candidates. Other forgery types include certificate numbers of submitted certificates did not belong to the alleged owner, and names on some certificates were fake, where the culprit's name is different from the real owner. PSC has handed over the report to DCI and the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission for further action. Brian Mushiri, NTV, Nairobi.
Well, Javis Hakima, Arundis national, who was the coach of world marathon record holder Kelvin Kiptum, had shelved plans to travel to France to focus on Kiptum's training. The two died in a road crash on Sunday night. Hakima leaves behind a widow and a 3-year-old daughter. Our reporter Gabriel Kudaka caught up with his widow in the outskirts of Eldoret and shared some of her memories and the plans they had as a family.
At her elder sister's home in Cheptiret, Joanne Jelimo recalled her last moments with her husband, Javis Hakizimana, who was world marathon record holder Kelvin Kiptum's coach.
So, tulikuwa tunaongea naye mpaka around saa 6 saa 7 hapo akaniambia anaenda kusalamia rafiki yake mwingine hapo Naiberi. After 5 sasa akaongea na Kiptum. Kiptum akampigia simu, kuna shughuli alikuwa anaenda kufanya naye town. Ndio akatoka akaenda hivyo.
Hakizimana was behind the scenes as Kiptum rose to the limelight after his great performance in his athletics career. They both died on Sunday night in a grisly road accident. Jelimo, who was married to Hakizimana for the last 10 years, says they had several plans as a family.
Tulikuwa tunaongea naye the whole day because we were planning for mtoto wetu alikuwa anafaa kuanza shule the following day.
Jelimo revealed that her late husband wanted to go to France but shelved the plan to focus on the late Kiptum's training ahead of the Rotterdam Marathon.
Hata venye aliamua kuja hapa Kenya ndio kuja shughulikia Kiptum akaenda. At least alikuwa anataka hiyo world record. He really wanted that. Hata saizi he was really fighting for under 2. He was here for under 2. Alitoka France just for that.
The late Javis Hakizimana and Kelvin Kiptum's relationship went beyond the training.
Every time Kiptum alikuwa anaendanga race, alikuwa anapitianga kwetu. Before aende alikuwa analala kwetu huko Nairobi. Every time akienda mazoezi alikuwa anapitianga kwetu ili alale, ama kama flight itakuwa jioni anaweza kuja mapema akuja kae na sisi ndio aende. Javis, my husband, was a hero to me. He was a hero to my baby. And he was a hero to whole Kenyans and to whole athletics. He was a hero. And he was ready to, yani alikuwa ameamua sasa kushughulikia watu.
Gabriel Kudaka, NTV.
Now, the Director of Public Prosecutions has filed a notice of appeal against the High Court judgment that acquitted former TV news anchor Jackie Maribe in the murder case of businesswoman Monica Kimani. Margaret Kimathi has that story and more from the courts.
In the notice filed by Senior Assistant Director of Public Prosecutions O.J. Omondi, the DPP's office says it was dissatisfied with the ruling delivered by High Court Judge Grace Nzioka on Friday last week, acquitting Maribe in the murder of 28-year-old businesswoman Monica Kimani. Maribe had been charged alongside Joseph Irungo alias Joey, who was found guilty of the murder. Two men arrested with bombs, improvised explosive devices, and assortment of firearms in Merti, Isiolo County are awaiting sentencing after they were found guilty of terrorism charges. Senior Principal Magistrate Zainab Abdul said that Hassan and Mohammed Osman Nane were found with 7 bombs and 36 hand grenades and an AK-47 intended to be used in a terror attack on February 15th, 2018. Controversial preacher Paul Mackenzie and 94 others have requested additional time from the court to submit their documents in order to secure temporary freedom while awaiting the outcome of the manslaughter charges against them. Their lawyer Wycliffe Makasembo told Mombasa Chief Magistrate Alex Idhuku that he requires at least a week to justify why his client should be granted freedom during the pending criminal case proceedings. 4 police officers accused of stealing toxic alcoholic exhibits believed to have caused deaths of 15 people at Kangai village in Kirinyaga County were presented in court. They will be held at Kirogoya police station for 15 days to enable detectives complete their investigations. Finally, former Mandera South MP Adan Haji Ali has been charged with corruption in connection to 51.4 million shilling tenders. The court heard that the accused, being an executive committee member of Kwale County, directly acquired the cash in his company. He denied the charges before Mombasa Chief Magistrate Alex Idhuku and was released on 2 million shillings bond. Margaret Kimathi, NTV.
In politics now, opposition leader Raila Odinga is asking Kenyans to brace for the worst times ahead, warning of a rapid change in the country's Eurobond maturity. The ODM leader, who was speaking in Mombasa, accused the Kenya Kwanza administration of debt mismanagement due to excessive borrowing, which he says might land the country into a crisis. Raila says Kenya and other African countries are suffering from inefficiencies and plunder of public resources, which has resulted, in repayment difficulties. He also took a swipe at President William Ruto's government for continuously blaming his predecessor, Uhuru Kenyatta, instead of delivering on its manifesto.
What is important is where do you invest what you have borrowed? Because if you invest properly, then there's a return on investment. And that will actually increase your ability to repay the debt. But if you invest in consumption, then of course you have a problem in repaying the debt. This is where we are. This is what needs to be addressed in this country. But we must have a serious conversation about debt management. Sasa hawa watu mlisikia mimi silikuwa tunapiga kelele wakati ile juu ya mambo ya Eurobond. Sasa wao sasa wanalia Eurobond inakuja shauri yao.
Well, and Mangu High School has joined the Club of Newspapers in Education, NIE, courtesy of the Nation Media Group. The program will enable students to better prepare for exams by revising some model exam questions published in the dailies. The schools will be receiving a total of 50 copies of the Taifa Leo and Daily Nation every week. Students will also get a chance to participate in in-share and composition writing competitions where the winners will receive prizes. About 1,500 schools have so far enrolled in the newspaper in education program.
Hold on. I want us to give him 5 factorial.
We would like to improve the reading culture of our students so that they can improve their skills in reading and writing of English and Kiswahili. There is a lot of running in the newspapers, both the Nation and the Taifa Leo.
Tonight, we turn the spotlight on the Social Health Authority that hosts the Social Health Insurance Fund (SHIF) and 2 other funds, Primary Healthcare Fund and Emergency Chronic and Critical Illness Fund. Come March, Kenyans will start paying 2.75% of their earnings to the authority, with the government banking on this to realize its UHC dream. On the first episode of The Heartbeat Tonight, we go to the ground to understand Kenyans' hope and fears on the new health insurance scheme that has replaced NHIF, with Lois Wangoi and Lilies Njeru.
Nandi Road has established itself as a healthcare hub here in the county of Uasin Gishu. It has it all, many hospitals as well as medical training colleges. And so for this conversation on matters SHIF, it was critical for us to land at Nandi Road and get Mwananchi's perspective. Granted, many who use this road are interacting with the country's healthcare insurance system and in real time.
Sasa napenda SHIF ikuwe isidiscriminate familia kutoka mtoto mpaka mzazi, kila mtu apewe nafasi ya kutibiwa. Ikuwe wewe ni mzee ama kijana, bora ni familia, hiyo family moja. Hata kama ufikisha 18 na bora uko kwa hiyo familia. Mfano sasa mimi watoto wangu wote wenye niko nao, hata kama wako na miaka ngapi na bado wako kwangu, ajeoa na ajeolewa na ako kwangu. So nataka hiyo SHIF isaidie kukava hawa.
A sizable number of those who frequent Nandi Road for treatment are those from neighboring counties. We meet with Joel Tarus from the neighboring Nandi County.
Matumaini yangu wa SHIF ni kwamba kila Mkenya awe ndani na pia waweze kutibu kwa every level na pia wasilimit mambo ya pesa. Najua NHIF ina limit, nasema ikifika kiwango fulani una top. So ile SHIF isifanye mambo ya limitation ya malipo, wafanye tu comprehensive kwa kila Mkenya, na government it take over treatment ya watu, it take over fully, sababu NHIF imelimit watu wengi sana, hata mtu anaweza kufa sababu hana pesa.
The NHIF fund will cease to be operational this year and SHIF will take over. A majority of those we spoke to mentioned efficiency as their number one ask for the incoming SHIF, even as they seek better understanding of what it really is.
Sasa shughuli ya SHIF hapo kidogo tunahitaji mafunzo juu. Inaweza yatuelewe.
Sasa yeye ndio swali nauliza, mbona wanataka kuwatoa wapeleke kwa SHIF ni kwa nini? Na hata kwanza NHIF haijatusaidia wengi wetu. NHIF kama sisi Western, mtu aenda anakaa kwa laini anasema bado hajamajua. Hivi ni swali tunataka kuuliza, how?
The 2.75% SHIF deduction for salaried Kenyans has not been capped at a maximum of 5,000 Kenyan shillings as promised earlier by the government, a move that will see deductions from top earners rise sharply, while individuals in the informal sector are required to remit 300 Kenyan shillings on a minimum under SHIF.
Wananchi wanataka katwa 300. Hapa wananchi kuna wakulima wanapata billions of money. Mtu anavuna mahindi anapata over 100 million. Still you still expect that person to pay 300. So tunaona kama sisi wafanyakazi wa serikali it is unfair to us.
From here in the county of Uasin Gishu, we move to the county of Nairobi, where my colleague Lilies is holding brief with yet another key stakeholder. Here is Lilies with expert opinion on SHIF.
Indeed, Lois, as we navigate through the contentious transition from the National Health Insurance Fund, NHIF, as we have known it for the last 57 years, to the Social Health Authority that hosts SHIF and other two funds, there are questions about what you will be entitled to under SHIF. So far, the government hasn't been able to sufficiently answer this question, beating around it at best.
We're going to have a benefits package. Benefits package simply means this is what your entitlement is. For example, if you go and have this procedure done, for example, the fund will pay up to 100,000. You might find there's a public hospital and a mission hospital for whom the 100,000 will suffice. You might find there's a high-end private hospital where they'll be demanding 300,000. It is your choice to decide where you go. If you want to be able to top up and be able to get this higher end care where most of the time it's not medical care you're paying for the hospitality component and the ambience.
It is important to note here that the 100,000 shillings Dr. Luen refers to is not the actual benefit. In fact, he says the real benefits will be determined by the financial projections after the regulations are finalized and gazetted. In essence, this means lipa kwanza mengine tutajulia mbele.
If we projected that we were estimating we wanted to get 100% of the population, and they turn out at 50%. You can see what that does to the numbers.
This has upset many people, that a health scheme has been designed and citizens will soon be forced to pay for it, albeit blindly, because what the benefits are is unknown, or when the benefits kick in, still unknown.
2.7% of a gross salary, a gross that you never take home in the first place. Then you are being told also as a healthcare worker and civil servant that you gave your 5,000 shillings medical allowance also into this program. And nobody's assuring you that after all these payments, you can get a comprehensive cover. Instead, they tell us in Schedule 5 of Transition Clause that you can then go to your employer to get a medical cover. My employer's government.
What we know for sure is that the SHIF plan has done away with the comprehensive cover, which was a key benefit of NHIF, especially for civil servants. Doctors are not happy about this.
We are the ones on whose backs UHC will be rode. We are the ones on whose backs we are going to achieve the SHIF and all those things. So if you can't take care of us, if we are offering services that we can't afford ourselves, then what are we doing? Who cares for the carer?
Despite the unanswered questions and resistance from professional bodies, the government continues with public participation and says that mandatory contribution to the fund will begin next month on 1st of March. The regulations state that individuals will be required to register for SHIF before accessing any government services. However, while lifting the order of the High Court that had stopped the implementation of Social Health Authority, the Court of Appeal ruled that these 3 sections remain suspended.
It also means that the obligation for employees and other Kenyans to contribute to this new social health authority, will now take effect. It will continue to take effect. So that means then that people will, those who are registered previously under NHIF, have to apply and re-register under the Social Health Authority.
For now, NHIF contributions still continue, though NHIF's assets are now in the Social Health Authority's control. And with just 2 weeks to go before the SHIF contributions kick off, it remains unclear why the government is pushing to implement this transition without clearly defining the benefits. Lilis Njero Mutinda, NTV.
Well, that special report leads us to almost a break where We are taking a short break on NTV Net. But just before this, what you're expecting on your paper, on the Daily Nation tomorrow morning, that ghost workers get away with 35 billion shillings. The payroll theft has contributed to 42 counties breaching statutory salary caps. Get your copy of the Daily Nation tomorrow. Right, taking a short break on TV tonight. We'll be right back with plenty more. Don't go too far.
The Motindum liquid electronic device reaches every corner, giving your loved ones a peaceful sleep. Together, we can fight to end malaria. Motindum, Kenya's #1 choice.
Imperfections, blackheads. Try Garnier's Pure Active 3-in-1 Charcoal, powered by salicylic acid and purified charcoal to reduce pimple-causing germs by 99.5%. One product, 3 uses for a pure skin. Garnier Pure Active 3-in-1 Charcoal, #1 in South Africa, by Garnier Naturally.
To protect our family from germs that cause illness when it's cold, we use Dettol soap.
Dettol soap with germ defense gives you protection. When it's cold, germs are transferred in different ways, and Dettol soap's germ defense protects you from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Be Dettol sure.
Now introducing the new 125-gram Dettol soap at only 200 shillings.
Imperfections, blackheads. Try Garnier's Pure Active 3-in-1 Charcoal, powered by salicylic acid and purified charcoal to reduce pimple-causing germs by 99.5%. One product, 3 uses for a pure skin. Garnier Pure Active 3-in-1 Charcoal, #1 in South Africa, by Garnier Naturally.
Na mawe ishaanza kumwagwa. Title deed ndio hii. Jishindie shamba hili la 1.1 million Kenyan shillings. Lori za mawe na mchanga. Dial *570#. Chase the lucky game.
Welcome back. Time for your business news. Now, the year 2023 saw massive consolidations, mergers and acquisitions in the banking sector. The consolidation was so historic, even a digital lender got the regulator's nod to acquire a microfinance bank. But one of the key acquisitions in the year was Mayfair Bank's takeover by Egypt's largest private and commercial bank, Commercial International Bank, CIB. So just what opportunity does a bank cross-listed in 3 global exchanges see in East Africa? NTV's Brian George is back from Cairo with that report.
On 29 January 2023, the Central Bank of Kenya granted Commercial International Bank, CIB, consent to acquire the remaining 49% of Mayfair Bank, making Mayfair CIB become a fully owned subsidiary of the bank for a total transaction value of up to $40 million. CIB entered the Kenyan market in April 2020 with an acquisition of 51% stake in Mayfair Bank. Interestingly, CIB Kenya's target market is the middle class, who despite having an increasingly lean paycheck due to the increased territory deductions, the lender bets majorly on. CIB Kenya's bet on the middle class emanates from a fairly well-addressed mass market needs by other lenders operating in the market.
I think it's no secret that the Kenyan market is one of the most advanced digitally on the continent. The use of cloud, all of that stuff. So for us, being in Kenya is a learning experience in a lot of ways, especially on the digital front. And digitally, it's the perfect way to grow with a more controlled investment and being in a larger footprint quicker.
Mr. Abaza believes no bank enters a market to be a market leader, and CIB Kenya is not competing with other established lenders. They, however, hope to leverage their advantage with the trade with Egypt and the prospects of facilitating intra-Africa trade.
I think it's as I was saying, the continent is the right place to be today. It is where the growth is, it's where growing populations are.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think nothing should be too aggressive. We're in a very, very volatile, I mean, who would have expected a global pandemic in the 21st century? Political disturbance, everything. So I think it's a matter of prudence. It's a matter, you want to be there first, but you don't want to overexpose yourself.
Yeah.
But Africa is where the growth is, a young, dynamic, growing population.
Well, you're watching NTV tonight. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back with plenty more.
This is the best serum I've ever used.
9 out of 10 agree Garnier Even and Matte Vitamin C Serum is the best they've used. Our highest concentration of derm actives.
Made my skin tone more even. Brightens up my skin with an instant glow.
Bye-bye, dark marks. Even and Matte Vitamin C Serum. 9 out of 10 agree it's the best serum they've used. By Garnier, naturally.
In the hustle and bustle of life, one thing matters the most: your financial well-being. No matter where you are from or where you're going, financial success is a journey we all share. Introducing IG Saku, your partner in financial growth. Join us and together we'll unlock a world of opportunities with a wide range of savings accounts and expert guidance. You'll learn the art of saving and financial management. It's time to let your money work for you. Start saving, start investing, start growing with IG Saku. All you need is a duly filled form, copy of your recent payslip, copy of your ID alongside your original one, and your KRA PIN. Visit our website www.igsacolimited.co.ke to become a member today and take control of your financial future. IG Saco, our investment, our growth.
Ataenda kucheza nje na hii baridi yote. Why did you let him go? Si atagonjeka. Sasa asipofanya tizi, how will he win more trophies? To protect our family from germs that cause illness when it's cold, we use Dettol soap.
Dettol soap with germ defense gives you protection. When it's cold, germs are transferred in different ways, and Dettol soap's germ defense protects you from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Be Dettol sure.
Now introducing the new 125-gram Dettol soap at only 200 shillings.
Form ikijipa, mimi nani. Now it's time to get extreme ice fresh. Ukiwa fresh all day, una stay fresh all night. Niki step onto the scene, na nikiona painting, shajua rada. Ona bro, be a fast man, be your own man. Jukiwa your own man, unakaa fiti na una smell even better. Be your own man with new Vassman Extreme Ice.
Nini? Imagine Lotomoto ukicheza na 30 bob una stand a chance to win shake ya 1.1 million. Na ukicheza na 50 bob unaweza get shake na lori za mawe na mchanga.
Sasa wacha hiyo. Ukicheza na 50 bob kwa website yao, imagine unaweza angukia mathri mpya.
Chance yako ya bizna ndio hii. Na ushindi ni 5th of May. Cheza Lucky Game kwa www.ebet.co.ke na uvuke na mathri!
Lontavera disongogira verera ontasera
Welcome back. Now, a 72-year-old retired accountant is causing a stir in Gilmore Village, Nandi County, through his innovations. Crispin Adet has put together a motorbike using an old motorcycle engine, a tractor of sorts driven by a Porsche mill engine, and is now putting final touches on a car he has assembled in his backyard. Okokusa paid him a visit and filed this report.
Crispin Adet's innovation, a motorcycle that cost him 20,000 shillings to put together. At the age of 42, he quit his accounting job with the Coffee Board of Kenya. After serving for 20 years, he says the job was boring.
I started by buying Porsche mills and selling them. Yeah, I buy old Porsche mills, refine them and then sell them.
The self-made engineer says that after the Porsche mill engine selling business flourished, he decided to plow part of the money and into farming. It is through farming that the idea of a tractor was conceived.
Then I sat down and said, okay, let me make something which will help me. Then I made the tractor out of a Porsche mill engine.
The tractor is 8 years old, and Adet says that it has become Gilmore's beast of burden.
Then people want it. Yeah. And actually this one does not serve me only. It's serving the whole village, even far. Yeah. Somebody has harvested maize, somebody has split timber somewhere. Yeah. And actually it's the only tractor which transports timber split here. Yeah.
Adet's son Michael admits that his father's engineering prowess has influenced his choice of career path.
You know, I'm also an engineer, an electrical engineer actually. Yeah. So we share a lot of engineering aspects, like even in this one. Yeah.
And if you thought that Adet was done with his captivating creations, then you are wrong. The car, which is designed with an open roof, is driven by an old motorcycle engine with a capacity of 150.
That side, that is reverse. When it comes here, it comes this side, you pull it towards myself, it goes forward. When I put it that way, it goes reverse.
It has been assembled out of used and new parts of motorcycles, motor vehicles, and tricycles, commonly known as tuk-tuk. Oukokusa, NTV.
Wow, for the fantastic story, it looks totally, completely safe. That marks the end of the bulletin tonight, but there's more to keep you glued, including the NTV 12 Minutes coming right after this break. My name is James Smart. Our silent interpreter is David Agundoa. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.
This is NTV.
If you want to be free and live like a child again, why stress about germs? If you must worry, then worry about winning. Why worry about germs? When you come home, bring tales and stories. Why bringing germs?
Shield your families from germs. When Dettol is a part of every household bucket, then you and your family can stay protected from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Everyday use of Dettol keeps my loved ones protected.
How do you keep your toilets clean? I use normal detergent and bleach for washing. The detergent and bleach cleanless can leave behind yellowness, rust, and germs. Harpic's 10 times better cleaning compared to regular detergents and bleach, and kills 99.9% illness-causing germs in your toilet, including the COVID-19 virus.
This is the best serum I've ever used.
9 out of 10 agree Garnier Even and Matte Vitamin C Serum is the best they've used. Our highest concentration of derm actives.
Made my skin tone more even. Brightens up my skin with an instant glow.
Bye-bye, dark marks.
Even a Matte Vitamin C Serum. 9 out of 10 agree it's the best serum they've used by Garnier, naturally.
It's time to get stepping. Step up to your most loved content and enjoy the next level upgrade for free.
Respect that.
Upgrade now and step up to even more action. Step up to more football. Step up to more local drama. Step up to more fun and get more than you pay for. Upgrade now and get boosted to the next package for free. Dial *423# or call 0711 066 000 and upgrade to the next level for free.
This is NTV.
As any woman who's spent time in Nairobi will tell you, while walking its streets, make sure to hold your purse tight. Probably the greatest threat 46-year-old Mary Lilian Waithera Gathenya thought she would face in the Central Business District exactly a year ago on her way home from work was a purse snatcher or maybe a pickpocket. As any knowledgeable pedestrian will tell you, you have to have your head on a swivel, ready to jump out of the way of a cart, boda boda, matatu or bus. Little did Waithera know that the threat to her safety would come from above in the way of a bullet one cannot dodge. While the bullet that lodged in her left lung was noiseless in the cacophony of Kaunda Street, news of it reverberated far and wide. Who killed Waithera? Why? Was it a sniper's bullet? Was she targeted? And did it have anything to do with her work at the National Hospital Insurance Fund? In the immediate aftermath, investigators informed the public that her death had nothing to do with a cover-up at the NHIF and was likely the result of a misuse of a firearm and not the work of a sniper. But a year later, this question still lingers. Who killed the mother of two? On NTV's 12 Minutes tonight, on the first anniversary of her death, we hear from her widower, Paul Mbogo, of her loved one's unanswered cry for justice.
It hurts me that somebody could rob my sons their mother, and they are still walking freely in these streets 12 months later. That is something that is quite annoying, and I really expected more from the investigating authorities, that is, bearing in mind that this happened in the CBD. It's not a common occurrence, so I believe it could have been treated with the utmost urgency and utmost seriousness. From the updates that have been given, the preliminary investigations ruled out any sinister motives, and we were remained with a case of a stray bullet. Now, this stray bullet, where did it come from? I've been told that most likely or most probably someone must have mishandled their firearm.
Bullet head recovered was 9 millimeters. That is a pistol. And obviously there are various suspicions, perhaps could there be snipers. But from my experience, I would say that that was not the work of a sniper. Snipers ordinarily will use rifles with longer barrels for purposes of accuracy. And the shorter the barrel, the lesser the accuracy. The longer the barrel, the more the accuracy. So if a sniper indeed wanted to eliminate, then he would not have opted to use a pistol for that matter.
One thing that made us live in harmony is there were no secrets, if you can call them. Everything, in case she needed anything, is someone who could bring things on the table, someone who could express herself, someone, if at all there was anything that she feared, she could have said it. And all that time, it was saddening that she didn't express any fear of her life. She could go to work with a matatu, come home with a matatu, walk in the streets alone, without even company of anyone, because she was free. You know, she could go anywhere she wishes to go freely, without any fear. She has never expressed any fear that she doesn't want to go here or to be with this person or the other. So there was nothing at all that you can say Mary feared.
Everyone will testify about how she gave up herself to make sure that she does the right thing and does the right thing at the right time.
The mortician, the report that he gave is that she died out of a single gunshot, a bullet that ruptured her left lung, and it did not exit. One thing the mortician wrote in his report, and what he explained to us, that the bullet came from an elevated angle. If the bullet came from an elevated position, from the mortician report, as a fact that the investigating authorities don't refute, and they went ahead and they gave us a report on how they went to the crime scene, how they investigated the two adjacent buildings, and the building they settled on and the floors they settled on are from where the bullet might have come from. Now, my big question is, nowadays there's so much technology. Technology has grown. In those buildings, there are cameras. What we have the time that Mary was shot. The cameras on the street clearly shows the time that Mary was shot, a clip that we saw. And for me, what I was expecting from the investigating authority, even a layman, should go to the CCTVs of that building and check at that time Mary was shot, who exited the building. When someone has done something like that, they cannot afford to walk casually like any other person unless they meant to do it. And in those, if at all, maybe from the investigation, they concluded maybe that person must have been on the first floor or the 7th floor or whichever floor. Who are the occupants of that floor? I mean, these are things that we could be hearing. People have been grilled, people have been questioned. Who was here at this time? Who works on this floor? Who works here? Even the bullet must have come through the window. There was no window that was broken. Maybe in that particular building, they say the window opened all the way. That means they are able to go to the place where that person was with the firearm. And it's expected. It is normal that those people should have been asked so many questions. I mean, we could have had some heat, which we don't, which is not there.
On 20th of February 2023, acting on information, we got intelligence that one Julius Kimani Mwangi was found around the precincts of Muindu Mbingu Street while armed with a firearm. So, arising from that suspicion, we found it proper that we go for this Julius Kimani Mwangi and to verify whether indeed he was connected to the shooting of the deceased. And later, it was discovered that the pistol was not indeed the one that fired the fatal bullet.
It felt bad learning later on that after the investigation and what have you, the person was set free. That was one of the things that the investigating officers took us through, how they could not be able, how the timings when Mary was shot and the time that the person was there, you know, they could not be placed at the same time. But it had given us some hope. And after that, we were expecting maybe they could do more, you know. But up to date, the status remains the same.
We are currently following various leads, reviewing of the CCTV footages, and interviewing some of the eyewitnesses, and as well forensic examination of the crime scene. And hopefully, in the fullness of time, we'll be able to reconstruct the scene and be able to apprehend the culprits.
Actually, I may not like to vindicate anyone to say it's a ploy, because I don't have the facts of saying that it was maybe a ploy by the government or something. I would not want to point accusing fingers. What it was disheartening to know that maybe the hopes that we have, someone will be brought to book, were thwarted just like that. And as a normal human being, you'll feel let down, because from there, if that person was not the one, then who was it? You are left with many questions. And I remember even previously, I've always said I've faith with the investigating officers and the investigating bodies, but I think it has taken a little bit long. 12 months is quite a long period. And the worst part of it that she's not coming back. And even more worse, someone had some hand to do with that. And we are not able to say who it is.
This is NTV.
Step up to more fun and get more than you pay for. Upgrade now and get boosted to the next package for free. Dial *423# or call 0711 066 000 and upgrade to the next level for free.
When your kids bond with you, you're giving them a great start. Prestige Margarine. It all starts with a great start. Now comes in the original and vanilla flavor.
This week, we will focus on some of the ways in which agriculture can transform Africa's economies.
I think it starts with the appropriate research institutions that provide the input that is relevant to each geographical location.
The government is putting up systems, it's putting up controls, it's putting up money, resources to ensure that quality farm inputs are always available to the farming community.
There is a danger, of course, when some of that poor quality inputs come with additional problems, like poor quality seed coming with a disease. You see, that compounds the whole problem. In potato, if you have poor quality seed which comes with the bacterial wilt or other diseases, you can lose your crop entirely.
Buda, kama uko na kakitu, maganji, usikuwe mgamu sana kwa mpenzio. Time to time, mfanyie masurprise. Mpeleke salon atengenezwe kanywele hivi, mchukulie kasimu kazuri, peleka yeye dina kwa kahoteli kapoa, akaange tu amefurahi. Utajionea mafuriko ya upendo. Right.
To get Mafuriko za Upendo as your skiza tune, dial *811*923#.
Skiza, Nan Nation.
Coming up to his 24th birthday, and with more than 250 appearances for Manchester City, Phil Foden is no longer a young player on the rise. The attacking midfielder now has the experience to match his talent, and that makes for an exciting time now and in the future. Indeed, the signs are Phil Foden has really arrived.
Prudential is now on M-Pesa app. Get a cancer cover from as low as 750 bob per month. Na pia, ukiwa admitted hosi, unapata chapa daily for each day hauko hustle for as low as 1,250 bob per month.
Population Services Kenya is a leading non-governmental organization that works towards improving the lives of Kenyans, and our purpose is better health and well-being. We play a multifaceted role towards reducing gender-based violence, towards capacity building and empowerment of communities, with a lot of emphasis on women and girls. We're very excited to be partnering with the Nation Media Group and also other stakeholders in celebrating International Women's Day. On International Women's Day, which will be held on 8th of March, I will be attending the gala dinner to celebrate women's excellence and rally for more resources for women. See you there.
The truth is not governed. The truth governs our beliefs, our faith, the trust we give, the democracy we seek. When held back, it always breaks free. Seek the truth. Set yourself free. Subscribe to read online at epaper.nation.africa. Daily Nation, the truth unfiltered. This is NTV.
Oh, ilikuwa Citizen eh?
Ilikuwa Citizen. Kwani nilikuwa mmeka ina rondo na shamba.
Ah, nilifinya kitu pale nyuma. Ala msho ikajiseti kienda the other side.
Hai imekata. Nitengeza tu vizuri. Fix yangu.
I want to thank God because a village boy has become the president of Kenya.
My name is Lavender, and I'm 15 years old. My dad drives people with the motorbike, and my mom, she goes to someone's house in Gong to like work and wash clothes and cook for them. Yeah, so it's hard. The way we like work things here for like getting water, we have to like walk to some